fun. Okay, so now that everything's good, let's sort of talk about the elephant in the room today that one of my friends decided to remind me about. And that was the Tekken 8 trailer that Bandai Namco released during the Sony State of Play. Now, if I am allowed to be as unbiased as possible, I'm going to be very honest. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing, but I imagine for a good reason. And I'm not a fan of what they're doing. I'm not not really a big person on holding in my thoughts right now. So I'm gonna do my best to explain exactly how I feel. My opinion has not changed so far. it is not the best right now. So far, everyone, it's like it's a Tekken 7 thing and people are okay with it. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not a fan of it. For as much as people believe, that I'm a fan of it, I'm not a fan of it. I wish I was more of a fan, but I'm just not a fan of it right now. If I am to be sincerely fair, I am so up in the air right now on a lot of fighting games right now. In fact, the only game that has like sort of a neutral opinion right now for me is Multiverses, and it's only because that happens to be taking the place of a game right now. So, I'm not really gonna say, oh, I'm hyped for Tekken 8. I'm not really gonna say that I'm not a fan of Tekken 8. I'm gonna say right now that I really don't know. As a fan, I feel hurt. As a fighting game community member, I'm happy that, there's still some budget on the table. But what exactly does putting it at the state of play do that it couldn't do at Evolution 2022? It was the first question I asked myself. I said, okay, maybe it gets out to more people because not everyone watches Evolution 2020. Not everybody watches Evolution, and that's sort of a fighting game community thing. It's not really a overall gamer event. It's, something that's not for everyone. So, I've been wondering, what exactly can I say about this that does not make this seem like I'm not favorable, but at the same time that I am favorable? The story friend I told her that her boyfriend were hoping that they would have shown more for Tekken 8, which is ironic because of the image we got first. Yeah, it actually is pretty sad knowing that. Even to which I can say that image was still pretty bad. It had as far as I know, no one really had a bad opinion of it, and the trailer only served to verify that all the fans were there. And that's fine and all. If you're a fan of the game, please be a fan of the game. They need people. They need more people to play the game, and it puts a lot more money into the developers' pockets. However, I'm not here to question the morality of the developers. I'm here to question the morality of Bandai's marketing department. Or specifically Tekken's marketing department. I feel like they know the people that already play Tekken will buy Tekken. And that sort of tends to be a trend gaming wise. They know that they know their fans are their core fans. They know oh, we have this many people, but we need to get this many people to buy the game. I know that's there, but what I'm thinking was that was what they were thinking in terms of that. Because it can't be that blatantly low. That blatantly just, backhanded. It can't be that backhanded. I don't want to call it backhanded, but it feels more backhanded. Because you're sort of doing what the consensus of the lower form of the fighting game community has always said. Get more fans, but at the same time, keep your fans. Street Fighter doing well. Street Fighter has been showing all this stuff and already has an open beta, so they choose to show as little as possible. And that's in their right. They don't have to show as much as possible, but unlike Street Fighter 6, which kind of got leaked, and then they sort of just like went with the flow of it, showing this little of a trailer, I would have rather just been surprised by the trailer versus to have had an image and then had the trailer. Correct. Yeah, that open beta is marked for, it is an open beta. I thought it was only a closed beta. The closed beta is, October 18th. The first beta they're having is a closed one. Unless they put it for, like, November. Yeah, it's only a closed beta right now. It's like you can only be chosen to do it. So like you can have like everyone apply, but you can choose like who you want to do it and how they're gonna do it. I speculate how they're gonna do it is that they're gonna probably choose the same usual people that choose Max, J.M. Crofts, Justin Wong, Punk the God, Kizzy K. Probably choose a couple like a Korean YouTubers who have more of the Tekken fan base watching them. It's like a lot more people from the other countries watching them. But back to the point, though. It really does feel like I don't know what Bandai Namco will do with Tekken, and we don't know what they're going to do in terms of any other game. Because not too long ago, I watched a video on someone who was more concerned about the future of Soul Calibur and if there will exist a Soul Calibur 7. I haven't looked up enough about the active player base and how well they did when the game first sold out. When the game first sold, I'm sorry. And as a rule of thumb, I'm starting to learn that if the game didn't sell over a specific threshold, don't expect a sequel. But at the same time, never rule out a sequel because they want to get their fans back and they want to make more games. Because it's game developers, now they don't have a lot of IPs that they can just reach and a lot of IPs they can just buy and make games out of. They just keep making the same ones. And I guess the way that Capcom works too, they only take their more successful ones and they let those make the most money so that they're allowed to do other things. But still, Bandai doesn't know when to stop. If Tekken 8 is what I think Tekken 8 is, then there serves a bigger concern to how fighting games are approached, trailer wise. Because now that we live in this era and time where games are so easily leaked, and a lot more information is easily spreadable because of Twitter, because of Reddit, because of, I guess you can say, Instagram sometimes, and more sometimes in like a blue moon Facebook, people ever choose to look at it. We sort of live in an era where information can easily be gotten, and everyone is willing to do something if it makes them famous for a slight second. And information is so easily grabbable. Because as far as I understood, like Capcom was looking for developers. Last time I checked, I think they were looking for developers. They might not be, but they could. Don't quote me on that. Indie kind of versions, which is sad. Yeah, it won't be their definitive versions. It'll be the very vanilla. So the appeal has to exist on the vanilla portion. So we don't know how good they're going to be when they first come out. Everyone's happy that a Street Fighter 6 exists, and I'm more holding my opinion back. Because as far as I know, if it was truly me, I would be just like, ripping this game a whole nother one. And about how simple the system is, and how modern controls are actually going to make a lot of older people complain. But at the same time, it's not really going to do anything, because older fighting game people will just buy whatever game they want, because the second they buy a fighting game, the second they stop buying one, they're going to feel like they missed out. Yeah, because everyone said that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was a bad game. Guarantee you, everyone that said it was bad owns it. And a couple hundred of them that says the game is bad still playing it. I'm actually going to disagree on the end of that statement of your second point. I'm going to disagree on the second end, on the Tekken end. The reason why it won't feel less exploitative is because you haven't measured how much you get per pass. Like, if we really had to look at how much you get per Tekken pass versus every other kind of pass, it feels less. So you feel more cheated than you feel exploited. Because you gave them money and they said, this is how much you're gonna get. And they are not like, a tiny little, a tiny little company that's just like, 12 programmers and a dream. And, we're starting to get all these fans and let's do some more. And then they put in the hard work. This is a AAA company that establishes both anime games and fighting games and action games and has bought a company. So to make a real point come out of babbling, we should keep Bandai in close proximity. AKA, you know how they say keep your friends closer and keep your enemies closer? Yeah, you kind of need to watch Bandai and what they do. Because it feels like until Tekken 8 really comes out, Because we know, both you and I know, or everyone in the chat knows, once this game comes out, there is going to be a day one patch. Regardless, there's going to be a day one patch. Almost every game has a day one patch now. You can never just, just release a game and not have a day one patch. Even if it's like a remake. There's always going to be a day one patch. How big that day one patch is the question. Will it be half the size of the game? A quarter the size of the game? Will it be a Fallout 76 amount? Which is basically just like re-downloading the game for like a whole nother day because they messed up on that much? Are they going to rush to bring it out? Because as far as we understand, the company said that they gave developers the time to make it. But I'm skeptical enough to say that sounds like bullshit. And they're going to start rushing them once the trailers start getting a lot more tread. When it starts going around more. Because imagine being a developer of that kind of game. And everyone's just great. Everyone's hyping it down. Everyone's just like, oh my god, it's a great game. It's a great game. It's got to be a great game. Oh, will it have this character in it? Maybe. Will it have this character in it? Maybe. Oh, how good is it? Oh, it looks so good. Look at the graphics. Look at the graphics. Does it play well? Sure. But will it really do well? I ask, will it really do well because they did what they were supposed to do? Like right now. Kind of like... Let's kind of put into perspective. The end of Street Fighter V was kind of their answer to, oh, we messed up in the beginning, let's sort of make the game better now. Because, like, okay, we don't really get a choice. It makes Season 5, and then people now call it, like, oh, it got better in Season 5. Yeah, and people do admit it got better in Season 5. I said, no, it didn't get better in Season 5. You just tolerated it, and they just limped to the finish line, and you accepted it. As limping to the finish line, well, as a regular person, if you had to establish this game as a pass and a fail, I would say this thing got like a C. It got a C. Because it did almost things it tried to do wrong. That's basically like a D grade. And then it just kept doing it, which made it a D grade. And then they made it better at the very end. That's like getting a good amount of D's at like the beginning of the year. And then getting like 1A. And then realizing that 1A doesn't do enough. So it only props it up to like a C minus. Sounds like rambling, but when you think about it, it does make sense. Street Fighter V limped to the finish line. Tekken 7 sold a lot. Street Fighter V sold a lot. I don't care how many games you sell. I care about your retention. It doesn't matter how well a game sells. Because if it's not a one-time play game, then what's that going to do? When you're a game as a service type game, where you need retention versus beginning count, retention is everything. Retention is 100%. Fighting games always need retention. Because having fighting games is the equivalent of whether or not people keep coming back to an arcade to play one game. It is the same perspective. Do I have the right games in here? Am I going to get these people coming back in? Am I going to get them still playing? Am I going to get them to play for a long time? That's what I want. I don't want them to just go, oh, this game looks interesting, plays it once, and then never plays it again. because I won't feel like I've gotten my money back from that. It's, is this arcade machine doing what it's supposed to do? Is it grabbing that many people? And is it doing this consistently? Because a lot of fighting game people do recognize that this is what's known as the replacement of arcades, or what happened to arcades. Fighting games used to mainly be arcade things. You used to have to go there in person, play people in person. It's a culture. There were rules. There were things you had to follow. Now it doesn't even matter because you can own the game at home. You don't even really have to behave now because you're in your own house. You know, there's no rules. There is nothing that's sort of like keeping you in this, you know, this code of honor in playing fighting games because you're at home now. You don't rage in person because that rage, you know, it ruins your credibility. But you rage at home now, and people don't see you rage at home. The best they do is sometimes rage quit. Sometimes you throw your own controller in the privacy of your own house. But a rage quit is seen, and that's your name. But at the same time, having a username necessarily doesn't mean anything. Because you can have multiple usernames, you can have multiple accounts, you can have multiple anything that can be online. So you can have multiple accounts that are online. You could be one guy with 12 different usernames. You can be, you know, a 12-year-old who has an account in GTA. Or you can be an 18-year-old playing a visual novel. Or let's just be really fair. You can be like a 16-year-old but playing Gran Turismo. The only time I've seen people rage in public is Smash, but we're not gonna get into that. Lol. That aside, yet it sounds scummy as someone who's more casual fighting game wise. Yeah, I can definitely see that. That, God knows, you got it on the nose. No lie, no lie. Believe it or not, some fighting game people have raged in real life. It's just that the ones in Smash are more prominent versus all the other ones. Because if you were to like, matter of fact, let me see if I can find this video while I'm still going on. So there is this video called, I'm not sure if you've heard it at all, but it's called The Brilliant Fighting Game Community. And I want to see if I can at least like link it. I want to see if I can link it without, you know, getting in trouble or anything. I want to see if I can link it. So see, there's this video here. This video here is called The Brilliant Fighting Game Community. This is basically like a handful of moments that have happened within fighting games. You know, so, you know, talking shit, and, you know, sometimes good fights, sometimes nonsense. Mostly nonsense. But this, in one way, does what we thought fighting games would not allow. And that is, you know, it's allowing clowns. And that by itself is already a concerning notion. Because we're allowing clowns. But at the same time, you're taking away your own player base. Because a lot of your player base, they're very eccentric. I'm going to call it that and say that. Because I don't have a better word to describe that kind of behavior. Realistically, the thing that defines you the most is how you act in public and how your public persona is, and how it's taken. It's been bad in Smash. We're not gonna lie. You and I both know it's been bad in Smash. It's been bad in a lot of games. But we act as if the community is any better. We all know, we both are old enough to understand that any game we play has a negative community, has a very toxic community. The only way you judge it is how prominent is the toxic side of that community showing. If it's very, very out in the open, then your game gets a bad reputation. If it's like really, really small and it gets like consistently, downgraded or, consistently losing reputation, not to use that word too many times, but it goes without saying. When the toxic side of the fighting game specifically, or the community specifically, gets weeded out or shown to have their arguments not make sense, or consistently have, they say something dumb and then people just disregard it. That's how you can tell if the community has a good hold of the other side of the community. When the toxic side of any fighting game comes out, it's not only prominent, but it's loud. So you have no choice but to divert attention to it. Who's to say? Who's to say that Street Fighter's toxic community doesn't just pop out of nowhere? We're gonna just be that kind of guy. What the downside of seeing the toxic side of games is, when the toxic side of games is the side that's keeping your game alive. See, realistically, if it weren't for the competition and the fact that people spend money to watch people beat each other on stage, sources say Street Fighter 6 probably wouldn't have come out till 2024. Or at least 2027. I don't know. They wouldn't have cared. Remember when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite failed? They hadn't said a word about it. Everybody's so busy wondering, where's Marvel? Where's Marvel? It ain't coming anytime soon, unless Capcom has an endless wallet and wants to pay the mouse. We're not seeing a Marvel vs. Capcom anytime soon. I'd say 2025, considering in-person servers only just came back. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough, good sir. Fair enough. I tip my hat. No, not that. I don't tip my hat. I will drop my preferable $20 on the table. My $20 of respect and say you got it. Oh. Wonder if there's anything else I gotta talk about right now. I think we covered most of it. Bandai Namco doesn't know what they're doing. We don't know how good the game is. Street Fighter 6 might not be great. Communities are toxic. I didn't miss anything, did I? Because it feels like I missed something, but I don't think I did necessarily. It feels like I just covered all the bases. Like I took 3 of them in, and like the other ones just happened to pop up out of nowhere. Am I like missing something? Do we need to talk about the state of play at all? Do we need to talk about what games might be posted on the channel sometime soon? Should I just do that now? Because realistically, I don't think we have anything else to talk about. There was one more thing I wanted to bring. You mentioned BlazBlue in your video, and I'll be honest, after Cross Chat, BlazBlue would probably be mostly a mobile game. Facts. Absolutely. I don't see another BlazBlue game coming out anytime soon. In fact, you did give me a good point that I need to go over. And that's reception. And that's like longevity of ArcSys fighting games. That's something we do need to talk about. Because, let's be real. There are only like 2 ArcSys fighting games out right now that people care about. And the only thing keeping them relevant was the fact that the netcode got better. Are we not going to talk about that? Are we not going to talk about that? That the only thing keeping ArcSys alive is the fact that their tour is, their tour that prominently features Guilty Gear Strive, but also has Dragon Ball Fighters, and at the same time BlazBlue Central Fiction, but at the same time DNF Duel, but also Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Yeah, surprised Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is still alive. I am more likely to download that on my console now. If that's true, I may just playing Grand Blue Fantasy Versus until I find something better to do. That's all I'm saying. Jeez. Your boy knows, like, your boy might just download them fighting lyrics on here. Just, play that for an hour and see how that goes. Maybe I do need just to make a gameplay video with a couple friends. I might have to invite you to do a couple games of I think it's either P4 or I might have to invite you to come and try out SF6 if I get it. That's not a promise that I'll get it. I'm saying if I get it, I'm giving you guys content for free because I don't care. As you know me, I'm the guy that says, let's make some content. Let's make some content today. If it's not illegal. Alright. Let's talk about ArcSys longevity real quick. Because now that we got that out the way, let's ArcSys. Good friends, good buddies, good pals. Well, not pals, because I've only played a couple games with you. Good pals. Can you stop buying IPs right now? Is it that every time you grab something, it's either here or there? People spent like the first 2 months liking DNF Duel, and then they said, oh no, I know you guys didn't develop it, but you guys let Nexon do it, and Nexon said, we're not going to give you guys anything. Have a nice day. They hit like one character, and then that was it. You're like, oh sure, and I'm like, okay guys, here's your anime game. Don't ask for a patch. Like, everyone starts complaining. Okay, we'll give you one patch. We nerfed the best guy, and we only nerfed a couple moves. Here's your patch. Goodbye. But I'm saying that's kind of stupid. Like, that's kind of dumb. That's just that's pretty bad. Yeah, but BlazBlue will just be a mobile game. Huh. We've done most everything. And ArcSys is, matter of fact, let's talk Guilty Gear Strive. For maybe just a minute or two. Apparently, that's just the game right now. Apparently, Guilty Gear Strive is just the game to beat. Every competitor has nothing to do. I guess you're playing Guilty Gear Strive because, the tour's alive. Or, Street Fighter. Why? Just why? Why are you playing Street Fighter 5 when you can just wait until Street Fighter 6? There's like 6 million fighting games out there. Go learn some Soul Calibur. Not that many people out there you gotta beat. It didn't take like maybe a month to learn Soul Calibur. Start beating people up. But who knows? King of Fighters 15? That might take 3 or 4 months to learn. Movement wise and combo wise. But yeah. But now you're facing international people. And international people do dedicate. If the game is their game, 'tis a religion, my good sir. You're fighting religion. What other game we got? Oh, Sam Show's getting rollback next month, I think. And once they get rollback next month, it'd be kind of great to get my ass kicked in some Sam Show again. At least I'll have some fun doing it. Oh yeah, but I do have a lot of single player games lined up. If that's streaming on the channel, I should have a lot of single player games coming up for you guys. Definitely. Most likely I'm going to just try to do some, maybe go run some R-Type. Maybe do a little bit of Contra Anniversary Edition. See if I can get my ass kicked for a little bit. No, I'm not going to use the Konami code. The second time. The first time, I'm going to see if it's possible. If it is, it's not gameplay. It's to see how long it takes me to lose 20 lives. See how fast it is that I lose 20 lives. On level 3. Level 3. Vertical jumps? Vertical jumps. But yeah, let's just download a whole bunch of ArcSys games, and we'll just play through them. Yeah, because ArcSys has had a lot of IPs under their belt. Speaking of which, you know what? That's what I'll do for this channel next time. The next time I post a video, I will be downloading a lot of the other games I have. So none of the bigs will be on here. maybe like a multiverses, because I still have it, and I gotta keep the rank up. Can't go around telling people that I play Smash for fun and don't play multiverses because I don't want to have fun. You're coming to my house. No, sir. You're coming to my house to play multiverses eventually. Just be ready. I don't know what date. Just be ready. It's not the convention. Just be ready. Bring a controller. That's all I'm saying. But you and I have stuff to do. I can't take a picture of all the games I'll download, but I will download some of the games for you to try. I have to get you guys, I have to get you guys to try out SLAF Double Plus. I just have to hold enough memory on my computer for us to play it. And I think I have to re-download Sonic Smackdown. I think we had fun playing that game for a second. I'll probably just re-download again and run some training mode on that. Sounds nice. Alright. I think we've rambled on for about a good 47 minutes. Moral of the story. Bandai Namco needs to understand who its customers are. ArcSys needs to stop buying IPs and just let other places get them. Please don't let Bandai buy them because we don't want Bandai buying them. You should probably trust a little bit, you should probably try some indie fighting games. Not a lot of them are bad. You gotta give them, a little bit of credit, though. I know that last message came up out of nowhere, but I'm telling you, some indie fighting games are great. You should definitely try them. Worth the money. Phantom Breaker Omnia. Wait till it's $5 to buy that. Because I heard it was crap. And I want to make sure that it is before I waste $5. Or $20. Whichever one is however fast I want to get the game. But there are some fighting games we didn't get to play. That all of us will get to play eventually. Oh yeah, let's finish that lesson. Try some indie fighting games. They're actually very fun. And the developers do talk a lot. Yeah. But also, if I do get this Street Fighter 6 closed beta, just pay attention to twitch.tv/cblaze973 for possible content, because I need to see if I can get his Twitch, see if I can get his game capture card to capture my laptop. And if it can, we may be able to play some Street Fighter 6, but I'm going to have to uninstall a lot of games to make sure we can play it. Yeah, it's about it. It's been about 50 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna let you go, guys. So until then, this is me telling you, Bandai, try harder. ArcSys, stop buying stuff. And you should definitely, once in your life, try out Multiverse. It's actually not that bad. It's not really Smash, but Smash people play it. If you avoid them, you'll have a good time. 1v1s, don't do them unless you really want to find the toxic people. 2v2s, play it with your friends. But free-for-all, my suggestion is you play that as couch co-op. Okay, so the next video, the next video, not live stream, next video will be an ArcSys fighting game. I don't know which one. It won't be a major one, but it won't be the one you're expecting. I will see you guys eventually, so just look out for the video. I will link it. Once again, just do better.